This is Smokin' Dave, and you're listening to a man who would last 14 seconds on the show Naked and Afraid. It's the Kevin Friedman Show.
Hey now, it's Friday, May 18th, and another SportsGossip.com podcast is on the air. I'm your host, Kevin Friedman, along with my announcer, Smokin' Dave, and together we will bring you 10 of the hottest stories off the SportsGossip.com website. I recently started watching that show, Naked and Afraid, on the Discovery Channel, and it is crazy. If you're not familiar with it, they drop off a couple of people totally naked in some of the toughest environments in the world. The show I was watching, they were in the African jungle, and two people got to survive together naked with no tools for 21 days. Now, who the hell's signing up for this game? I don't even think they win anything. These people are crazy. And what's even crazier is I can't stop watching it. I spend an hour staring at out-of-shape fat people's naked butt cheeks. Dave, you ever seen this show?
I haven't, but I'm thinking about signing up now since I can show off my immaculate butt cheeks.
Dave, you wouldn't last 30 minutes out there. Now give us that first story.
Fight breaks out in Lingerie Football League game.
Whether it's fans in the crowd or players on the field, the SportsGossip.com podcast loves covering fights. And this one was on the field between the Atlanta Steam and the Austin Acoustic in the Lingerie Football League. You can go to SportsGossip.com to check out the video. And I'll be honest, as far as fights go, this is not a great one. I mean, the ladies are all wearing helmets, pads, no real punches are thrown. But it's chicks fighting nonetheless, so I'm going to watch, and you can watch at SportsGossip.com. Now, if this is called the Lingerie Football League, why are these girls fully decked out in helmets, pads, jerseys, and long pants? You ask me, they'd probably get more fans if they changed it to two-hand touch and put them in real lingerie. But I'll probably be called sexist for that comment, so we'll move on. Anyways, we got a little audio from the fight. Here's Austin's Kendria Robinson at the tail end of it.
She sounds like my kind of woman. Think she's single?
Well, after hearing that audio, I think it's safe to assume she is. What's next?
Dez Bryant doesn't regret turning down Ravens' offer.
The former Dallas Cowboys receiver, who is now a 29-year-old free agent, turned down a 3-year, $21 million offer from the Ravens. Rumor has it the Packers were interested as well, but now Pro Football Talk reported Green Bay is no longer interested, so some are starting to question whether Dez should have accepted that offer from the Ravens. In my opinion, I don't think it was a bad move to turn them down. Any GM with a brain is going to realize that this guy's still a top 20 receiver in the league. He's only 29 years old. And he's playing with a huge chip on his shoulder. He's also 100% healthy. And this is a league where quality receivers are hard to come by. Ask the Chicago Bears last year. So I see no reason why Dez shouldn't hold out and wait for a better offer from a better team with a better quarterback. Patriots, Saints, Giants, Bears, those are just some of the teams that come to mind. One thing I know for sure, Dez Bryant will not go into the season unsigned. Whether he gets a better offer than 3 years, $21 million, we'll have to wait and see. But I guarantee you, if he signs with the Giants, Patriots, or New Orleans, you will see a very productive Dez Bryant next year who will probably outplay his contract. Dave, what's next?
25-year-old man posed as teenager to play high school basketball.
Fox 4 News in Dallas uncovered a story about Sidney Gilstrap Portley, who's a 25-year-old man who posed as a high school student in order to relive his glory days on the high school basketball team. He's facing felony charges of enrollment fraud for duping Hillcrest High School. Now, I'll be honest, if you told me I could have went back to high school at the age of 25 just to play on the basketball team, and I could get away with it, I would have done it. What I wouldn't have done was start messing around with the high school girls, which is what this guy did, and why he's going to get in a lot more trouble. He should have stuck to basketball. But either way, this guy got busted, and he's probably going to jail. Dave, you ever heard anything like this before?
Sure, a few years back I posed as a woman and played in the WNBA.
You sure you just didn't watch the movie Joanna Man?
Okay, you got me. But back in the 70s, I dressed up as a woman to audition for the soap opera, and I ended up getting it.
That sounds to me like the movie Tootsie.
God damn it, is there a movie you haven't seen?
Just give us the next story.
Krista Glover's 911 call after fighting with Lucas Glover's mother.
Now this story's crazy. PGA golfer Lucas Glover had a poor performance in the Players' Championship last weekend, and later that night, his wife, Krista Glover, who was upset at his poor performance, attacked him and his mom. And then she had the balls to call the police on them afterwards. You can listen to the 911 call on sportsgossip.com. The end result was Krista was arrested. She has a restraining order against her, and she can't go within 500 feet of the house. Now it sucks because they have children together, but this lady's a psychopath. Supposedly she's known for bullying her husband whenever he plays bad, insulting him with lines like he's a pussy and a loser, and then she attacked his mom? I mean, what's this guy thinking marrying her? Would she turn into a psychopath after they got married? If a chick attacks my mom, I'm not going to go after her, but what I am going to do is find the toughest chick I can find to come over and kick her ass. You know who I'll get? The Austin Acoustics, Kendra Robinson.
What up, bitch? What up, bitch? Bitch! What up?
Anyways, you can go to sportsgossip.com to read all about this and listen to the 911 call. Dave, you ever been with a woman as crazy as this chick?
I used to hang out with this crazy chick named Mallory. We went on a 52-person killing spree. The tabloids loved us.
Yeah, nice try. That's natural-born killers.
Screw you.
What's next?
Carolina Pliskova breaks umpire's chair in racket rage incident over blown call.
Continuing our theme of women going crazy, Carolina Pliskova is facing a fine after her second round defeat to Maria Sakkari in Rome. It was late in the third set, tied at 5 games apiece. The score was 30-30, and the line judge and umpire missed the call, which was clearly in, and they called her out. They claimed they couldn't find the mark. She ended up losing, and after the game, instead of shaking the umpire's hand, she walked up to her chair and started slamming it with her racket, putting a huge hole in the side. You can go to sportsgossip.com to watch the video. Now I'm taking Pliskova's side on this one. She got screwed. And this is professional tennis. Where's the replay? Or where's the line sensors? The technology's out there, why aren't they using it? This call could have easily cost her the game, and that's why she's so pissed. Anyways, you can go to sportsgossip.com to watch the video of her slamming a hole into the umpire's chair. It's pretty entertaining. And that's 5 stories down. We got 5 to go. We gotta take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Hello, this is a big dong, and I have a new items for sale. I have Michigan State sweatshirt signed by Larry Nassar. I have Penn State sweatshirt signed by Jerry Sandusky. And I have Olive Garden menu signed by Harvey Weinstein. I give you a very good deal. You contact me at bigdong@yahoo.com. Thank you.
And we're back. Dave, give us that next story.
Kevin Durant and Chris Paul's brother exchanged words during Game 2.
The Rockets evened up their series with Golden State at a game apiece with the 127-105 win on Wednesday night. During the game, Durant was caught on video chirping at Chris Paul's brother, who was sitting in the front row. He yells at him to sit down, which Paul's brother did instantly. Durant scored 38 points to lead all scorers. Game 3 is Sunday. I'm still taking Golden State to win this series and the NBA championship. And even though they're down 0-2 to the Celtics right now, I still say LeBron and the Cavs come back and win this series to take on Golden State once again. Dave, what's next?
Argentine Soccer Association hands out info on how to pick up Russian women.
Well, we are the #1 podcast in all of Russia, so you knew we were going to do this story. The Argentine Football Association handed out manuals covering Russian language and culture to about 40 sports journalists in preparation for their trip to the World Cup, which is in Russia starting next month. Included in the manual are tips on how to pick up Russian women. It says Russian women don't like it when you look at them like objects. They pay a lot of attention to whether you're clean, smell good, and are well dressed, and they hate boring men. On the phone we have our favorite Russian, Ivan Babushka. I've been told he has a couple tips on how he picks up Russian women. Ivan, you there?
Hush, Kevin. The key to a Russian woman's heart is very simple. You just buy her a good vatrushka, and you can get the best vatrushka at Ivan Babushka's Dining Emporium, where all Argentinian Football Association reporters are welcome.
All right, thanks, Ivan. There you go. The key to a Russian woman's heart is vatrushka.
Getting Russian women is easy. You just get a credit card and you go to RussianMailOrderBrides.com. That's how I do it.
Thanks for the info, Dave. What's next?
Cleveland Browns on Hard Knocks is happening.
Yes, it was a rumor, but according to Adam Schefter, it is now official. The Cleveland Browns will be the team featured on Hard Knocks this upcoming season. Now, we discussed on a previous podcast that HBO is limited on the teams they can choose from. I think it was teams that made the playoffs do not have to participate, or teams that have been on in the past 10 years. And if you ask me, that's bullshit. If HBO had any balls, they would demand to have their choice of anybody they want. Personally, I'd love to see the Patriots on Hard Knocks. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the show and I'm going to watch it with Cleveland and it's probably still going to be good, but it would be that much better with a team like New England. And there's no reason they shouldn't be on it. This is an entertainment league, and that's their most entertaining team. So give the fans what they want. Instead, we get the 0-16 Cleveland Browns. So thanks a lot, HBO. Much like most of your characters on Game of Thrones, you got no balls. Dave, what's next?
John Wall spending time with stripper Sky Machiavelli.
Wizards guard John Wall is off to a productive start to his offseason, as our tipsters gave us the exclusive info that he's been spending time with stripper Sky Machiavelli. Now, if this turns romantic, he might want to wear a condom because she's been rumored to be with O.J. Mayo, Tyreek Evans, James Harden, J.R. Smith, and that's only the list that we know of. You can go to sportsgossip.com to check out an Instagram post of Sky, which John Wall liked, and you can check out a bunch of pictures of Sky as well.
I bet this Sky Machiavelli and I would hit it off. Back when I was a Chippendales dancer, my stripper name was Dave Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah, well, my advice, much like to John Wall, would be wear a condom. Now give us that final story.
Boogie Cousins unfollows the Pelicans on Instagram and then makes Instagram comment.
Cousins is set to become an unrestricted free agent starting next month, and it looks like he will not be returning to New Orleans. He unfollowed them on Instagram, and then when a fan asked him why he did it, he responded with, "'Cause I'm grown." Cousins is coming off an injury, but he's only 27 years old and one of the best players in the league. If I were him, I would team up with LeBron and choose a team together, because it looks like it's going to take another super team to beat Golden State. And that'll wrap things up on the SportsGossip.com podcast. I want to thank my announcer, Smokin' Dave. Thanks to Ivan Babushka for calling in. And most importantly, thank you for listening. Remember, for all these stories and much, much more, you can go to SportsGossip.com. Our next podcast is Tuesday. And until then, we'll see you next time.